Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the new Colourpop No Filter Foundation along with their translucent powder and their pressed powder. I'm really excited for these products. I have really high hopes for them, so I am going to be trying them out for the first time in this video, and I will be doing a review and check-in throughout the day. So if you are interested in seeing what I think about these products, then please keep on watching. I'm going to put on my little headband. There we go. First, we're going to start off with the No Filter Foundation. So I do want to talk a little bit about the foundation before we get started. This foundation retails for $12 and there's a total of 42 shades to choose from online, which I think is absolutely amazing. I will say this, I did have a little bit of a hard time trying to find my shade online because it's always hard to find a foundation shade online. Let's be real. Let's be honest. It's always hard, at least for me it is. But Colourpop made it so much easier. So when you go on their website and you want to order the foundation, what you do is you can put your skin tone and your undertone, and they'll match you with the 4 shades that are going to be closest to your shades that you put on there. Also, I love that they did a match by brand option. So they have the MAC Studio Fix Fluid, the Fenty Pro Filter Foundation, the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and the Maybelline Fit Me. So if you know your shade for any of those foundations, you can put that on there and it'll match you to the closest foundation shade that matches that exact foundation that you applied on there, which I think is absolutely amazing and it makes it so much easier for you. It says this is our full coverage natural matte foundation. It delivers flawless looking skin from day to night. It's oil-free, lightweight formula. It blends in smoothly and is easily customizable to create the coverage you want. Build it up or sheer it out. It was developed for an innovative, soft blurring pigments to deliver true color while looking and feeling natural. Here's what the packaging looks like. It's in a glass bottle and it has a pump and it contains 0.85 fluid ounces of product in this bottle. So I went with the shade Medium Dark 115. I'm really hoping that this matches me. I wish this packaging had a lid, but I kind of get why they didn't put a lid with this foundation. It's because the pump locks. So when you're ready to use the foundation, you twist it and unlock it and you just pump it out, and then you twist it when you're done using it so you can lock it up. I get why they don't have a lid, but I'm the kind of person where I like to have lids on my stuff. I don't know why, I'm weird. Okay, so before we apply foundation, I am going to apply a little bit of my Maybelline Baby Skin Pore Eraser Primer on one side of my face so you can see if applying primer makes that any much of a difference with this foundation. One side of my face I will be using a sponge. This is the Sonia Kashuk Beauty Sponge that I got at Target. And on the other side of my face I will be using a brush. This is the Basic Beauty brush. I get these at the 99-cent store. These are amazing. I have this one as well. This one doesn't have the slant. I love this one for foundation as well, but this one is dirty right now, so I'm just going to use this one. I did get a Colourpop foundation brush. This is the F16 brush. I got this for free because there was a coupon code going around that if you bought the foundation, you got a free brush. So I decided to take advantage of that because I've never tried Colourpop brushes. I don't like blending out my foundation with brushes like these. I need a bigger and fluffier brush like this one to blend out my foundation. I do like to apply my foundation with a brush like this and then go in with a different brush or a sponge to blend it out. So I will be doing that today just to use this brush. So I am going to apply some foundation on the back of my hand. So that is 4 pumps. Ooh, and it's really runny. You can see that. Ooh. And I'm going to get my Colourpop brush and just pick up some product with it and apply it on my face. I'm going to go ahead and use the sponge to blend it out. I would say it's medium coverage, not full coverage so far. I did have a little bit of a blemish right here, but it did cover it. It did do a good job covering it. Honestly, I like this coverage for like every day. Today I do want a little bit more of a full coverage kind of look, so I will be building it up. So I'm just going to apply a little bit more. Okay, so there it is built up. I do like the way it looks with 2 layers. I do like the look of it so far. This is the coverage that I want. It's perfect. I love how it feels on my skin. It does not feel heavy whatsoever. It feels like it's my skin. It is still a little bit sticky. Now we're going to do the brush side. Honestly, I'm not going to use this. I feel like this soaks up a lot of the product, so I'm just going to go ahead and dot it on my face like I usually do. Now I'm going to go in with a brush to blend it out. Whoa! Oh my gosh, the coverage with the brush is crazy. So far I'm loving the brush side. I did not have to build it up at all with the brush side, but I will say this, that I think I did have to build it up with the sponge side is because I used this foundation brush to apply it, and honestly I felt like it soaked up too much of the product. I think that's why I decided to build it up on this side, because I used this and this soaked up too much of the foundation. I really love both sides. Both sides look really good. But I really love how easy it was to blend out with the brush. On this side, it was so fast and so easy to cover up everything. Here is a close-up of the sponge side. Here is a close-up of the brush side. Now onto concealer. I will be using the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. I love this stuff. So good. So I'm just going to apply a little under my eyes. I love the applicator. I feel like a lot of product goes on it and you don't have to keep dipping in the tube. Now I'm just going to blend it out with my sponge. Okay, so the concealer and the foundation pair really nice together. They look amazing together. To set my concealer, I'm going to use the No Filter Setting Powder. They have a total of 3 shades to choose from, which are Translucent, Banana, and Translucent Deep. I went with the shade Translucent. I wanted to get Banana, but honestly I felt like it might have been a little bit too yellow, so I just decided to go ahead and get the shade Translucent. This is what the packaging looks like. The size of it is pretty small. I do have my Laura Mercier right here so you can see a size comparison. And I also have my Airspun, which retails for like $4 or something like that. Here is a size comparison. So it's pretty small, which I was a little bit bummed out about because this was $9 and it's tiny. So I was a little bit disappointed in the size of this, but I'm hoping the product is good. So when you open it up, you can see that it has a sifter. It does have a sticker right there so the powder won't come out. A decent amount of product comes out of there, so that's good. I'm going to pour a little bit on the lid. Here is a close-up of the powder. You can see it does have a little bit of a tint to it. It's like a little bit of a yellow tint. I love my Laura Mercier one because it does have a tint to it as well, so I'm really happy about that. I am going to be using my Sonia Kashuk sponge to apply the powder. I love applying my powder with a sponge, so I'm going to use this. I'm just going to dip it into the cap. So here is what the powder looks like. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit so it can bake. And while that bakes, I'm going to go in with the No Filter Sheer Pressed Powder. This comes in 6 different shades and it retails for $9. I decided to get mine in the shade Medium Dark. I do have here a highlighter that I've owned for a while now. And this one comes in the Stars packaging. And you can see that the Sheer Pressed Powder is in the stripes. Colourpop's packaging is just my favorite. So pretty and so simple. And here is what the powder looks like. It's the perfect shade for me. Again, this is the shade Medium Dark. I'm going to grab a big powder brush and I'm going to apply the powder with it. Wow, the powder is really nice. Now I'm going to go ahead and dust off the setting powder. So far with the sheer pressed powder, really like, super nice. Then compared with the foundation, it looks really, really good. So the translucent setting powder, I actually really like. It's nice and brightening, but it doesn't look too heavy on the eyes, which I really like. It doesn't look like I'm wearing a lot of concealer and powder under my eyes. It looks nice. I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, then I will be right back. So I went ahead and finished off the rest of my makeup. I really love the way it turned out. If you are wondering what I'm wearing on my face, I'll have it listed down below. I am actually wearing mostly all Colourpop. On my eyes, I'm wearing the Double Entendre palette. It's the perfect warm toned eyeshadow palette. And for highlighter, I really love the highlighter that I'm wearing. It's again a Colourpop highlighter. This is one of their pressed highlighters. And this one, actually, I don't know the name of. They forgot to put the sticker on the back of the packaging, so I don't know the name of this, but I will look it up for you and I'll have it listed down below for you, along with all the other products that I'm wearing on my face. But so far, I'm really, really impressed with the powder. The translucent powder I'm really, really loving, and the foundation is really nice. I forgot to mention before that I have dry skin and matte foundations don't really work out that well for me. There are only a few matte foundations that I like, such as the Fenty Pro Filter foundation. That's one of my favorite matte foundations. And the Maybelline Superstay matte foundation. That was one of my favorites as well. So far, those are the only two that's ever worked for my dry skin. And this one is actually looking pretty nice on my skin. My skin so far doesn't look scaly or dry whatsoever. But I will say this, I do see a difference on this side than on this side. On this side, I didn't apply the primer. And on this side, I did. And already on this side, I'm starting to notice a little bit of cracking around my mouth where my smile lines are, but that's because we didn't apply the primer on this side. On this side, everything looks great. But so far, other than that, I don't see a ton of texture on my face. Okay, so here is a close-up of my makeup. Here is the side with the primer. I really like the side. I think it looks really, really nice. Here is the side with no primer. You can see my smile line right there. And you can see some cracking around my nose. So I'm going to be taking a photo on my phone with flash so I can see if there's any flashback. I'm really hoping there's no flashback with this foundation. I hate when foundations give flashback in pictures. It looks horrible. So I'm going to take a picture. So it does have a little bit of flashback. It doesn't look horrible. I have had other foundations look absolutely horrible in pictures, and this one doesn't look bad at all. It is 2:35. I will be checking in with you throughout the day so you can see how this foundation lasts and all that and how it ends up looking. I am going to go off and do some errands and all that, so I will be checking in with you in a few hours. It's been about 4 hours since I've applied my foundation, and so far I think it looks good, right? My sister said it looks good.
Fantastic.
Okay, so I actually just went to Target, but I wanted to go ahead and check in with you. It is 8:18 right now, and so far it's still holding up pretty well. I'm really, really impressed with this foundation. I'm not really an oily person, so I don't really see any oil whatsoever. I do see a little bit more texture on this side than I do on this side. I do have the primer on this side of my face, and I do see more my fine lines and stuff like that on this side than on this side. But other than that, y'all, so far so good. So I'm back. It is 11:01. It's been about 8 hours, and I can tell you now that I really like this foundation. So I did notice some cracking throughout the day, mostly on the side where I didn't apply my primer. And I did notice my fine lines on my forehead towards the end of the day. So this is my last check-in. I am really, really impressed with Colourpop's foundation and powders. So here is the primer side, and here is the primer side. So I definitely like the side with the primer, so for sure from now on, every time that I use this foundation, I will be using a primer with it. I did notice a little bit of the foundation coming off around my nose, but that's because I've rubbed my nose a lot. I guess. Like I said, right here you can see my fine lines right there and all of that. But usually it always looks like that towards the end of the day every time I wear makeup with any foundation that I wear. I really am impressed with these products. I'm not really an oily person, so I don't really see that much oil on my face. I do see a little bit on my forehead, but honestly, you can barely even tell. Me, for being dry, I really enjoy this foundation. This says it's a matte foundation, but honestly, I see more of a satin finish. I don't really see a super matte finish on the skin. I really love how you can build this up and it doesn't cake up at all. I just love this coverage. I love that you can have a very light hand with this and have a nice sheer coverage with this foundation, but I also like that you can build it up to a full coverage foundation. And as for the setting powder, I really like how it set my under eyes. It did not feel heavy whatsoever when I applied it on my under eyes. Usually with some translucent setting powders, you can feel that powder under your eyes, and with this powder you can't even feel it. And I really like how it brightened my under eyes as well, so I'm really liking this. As for the sheer pressed powder, I do like it. It does get the job done. I will say this, if you're looking for a powder that gives extra coverage to your foundation, this powder is not it. This is not going to give that much coverage. If you like to use powder just by itself with no foundation or anything, this doesn't give good coverage. This is very, very sheer, just so you know. I do really like how smooth it is. It's not super silky, but it still feels nice. And paired with this foundation, it goes really nicely. It feels very lightweight and it feels very, very nice on the skin. So with these two paired together, it feels really nice. It doesn't feel like you're wearing a lot of makeup, which I really like. I will continue to use this powder. So I hope you enjoyed my little review on Colourpop's new face products. I really enjoyed trying these products out, and I'm really happy that I did. This is Colourpop's first foundation, first pressed powder, and their first translucent setting powder. So I honestly think they did a really good job on the formula with all of these products. I will be getting a lot more use out of these products. So that is it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me on my social media. I'll have all that listed down below, so you can go follow me on there. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.